There is one direction you should never face your bed. Not a single inch, not even temporarily. Because this one-directional placement can silently drain every blessing trying to enter your life, block prosperity at the threshold, and slowly cool the divine light meant to protect your sleep and your dreams. Think of it like placing a spiritual dam between you and the flow of abundance. Every night you sleep facing this direction, you're unknowingly telling the universe, "Close the gates. I don't need blessings." But before I reveal which direction this is, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rabbi Moshe Levi, and for over 35 years, I have dedicated my life to studying the ancient teachings of Kabbalah, the mystical wisdom that has guided Jewish families for over 2,000 years. I've worked with thousands of families, helping them unlock the sacred codes hidden within their homes, transform their bedrooms into sanctuaries of divine energy, and align their sleeping spaces with the very frequencies that attract prosperity, protection, and peace. My mission is simple: to share these ancient secrets that have been carefully guarded by Kabbalists and rabbis for centuries, so that you can turn your bedroom into a true vessel for blessings. And here is my promise. By the end of this teaching, you will know exactly which direction to avoid, why it blocks every form of abundance, and most importantly, the sacred steps you can take tonight to correct it and open the floodgates of blessings. Stay with me, because this single adjustment in your bedroom can completely transform the energy of your entire life. For now, let's set a powerful intention together. Type this in the comments below: "My bed is aligned with divine blessings and prosperity." Writing it sends a signal to the universe and to your own soul that you are ready, willing, and open to receive. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone whose life feels blocked, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss another Kabbalistic secret that could change everything. Let's begin this sacred journey together, and by the end, you will hold the key to transforming your bedroom into a true magnet for miracles. The sacred science of sleep direction. Most people think a bed is just furniture, a place to rest your body after a long day. But in Kabbalah, your bed is far more than that. It is your nightly altar. It is the place where your soul ascends during sleep to receive guidance, healing, and blessings from the upper realms. The Zohar, the foundational text of Jewish mysticism, teaches that when you sleep, your soul literally leaves your body and travels through spiritual dimensions. And the direction your body faces during this sacred journey, it determines which gates open to you and which remain locked. Think of your bedroom as a compass, and your bed as the needle. Just as a compass needle must align with magnetic north to function properly, your bed must align with specific spiritual directions to attract the flow of divine energy. When aligned correctly, your sleep becomes a portal for blessings. When misaligned, it becomes a barrier. Science actually supports this ancient wisdom. Studies in environmental psychology and geobiology show that the direction we sleep affects our circadian rhythms, our nervous system, and even our ability to experience deep restorative sleep. Researchers have found that sleeping with your head pointing towards certain cardinal directions can improve sleep quality, reduce anxiety, and enhance overall well-being. Your body and soul are already wired to respond to directional energy on a deep, unconscious level. This is why I need you to really hear this. You could be unintentionally blocking miracles, prosperity, and even answered prayers simply because of the direction your bed is facing. That seemingly random placement may be silently working against your highest good. But don't worry. Before I reveal the one direction that is most dangerous to your blessings, I'm going to share with you the 5 most powerful directions you can align your bed. These directions, when chosen with sacred intention, become magnetic fields for growth, abundance, protection, love, and divine wisdom. Stay with me, because each one carries a secret that has been passed down through generations of Jewish mystics. First direction: East, the gate of renewal and spiritual awakening. Let's begin with the first sacred direction, East. In Jewish tradition, East holds profound spiritual significance. It is the direction of Jerusalem, the direction of the Holy Temple, the direction our ancestors faced when they prayed. When you align your bed so that your head points east, you are symbolically orienting your soul toward the source of all holiness and light. The Talmud teaches that the divine presence, the Shekinah, rests in the east. This is why synagogues around the world position the ark containing the Torah scrolls on the eastern wall. When you sleep with your head facing east, you align yourself with this divine presence. Every breath you take during sleep becomes a prayer. Every dream becomes a message from the heavens. Kabbalah teaches that the east represents renewal, new beginnings, and spiritual awakening. Just as the sun rises in the east bringing light after darkness, sleeping toward the east invites fresh opportunities, clarity of purpose, and the courage to begin again no matter how many times you've stumbled. One of my students, a woman named Sarah from New York, had struggled with chronic fatigue and a sense of spiritual emptiness for years. She felt disconnected from her purpose, as though every door she approached remained locked. I visited her home and immediately noticed her bed faced west, away from the rising light. I suggested she reposition it so her head pointed east. Within 2 weeks, she called me in tears of gratitude. She described waking up with energy she hadn't felt in a decade. New opportunities appeared seemingly out of nowhere. A business idea she had abandoned years ago suddenly reignited in her heart, and within months, it became her primary source of income. This wasn't magic. It was alignment. She had opened the eastern gate, and blessings poured through. So here's your sacred practice. If you long for spiritual renewal, if you feel stuck or disconnected from your purpose, align your bed toward the east. As you lie down each night, whisper this ancient prayer. Modechani lefanesha, I give thanks before you, living and eternal King, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great. Let the east become your gateway to awakening. And if east is the direction of spiritual light, then the next direction we'll explore is the channel of material prosperity and divine abundance. Second direction, southeast, the flow of prosperity and divine provision. Now let's talk about the second powerful direction, southeast. In the wisdom of Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, southeast is considered the direction of sustained prosperity and material abundance. This is not about greed or accumulation for its own sake. It's about aligning yourself with the divine flow of provision so that you have the resources to fulfill your mission, support your family, and give generously to those in need. The Torah teaches us that wealth is a blessing from God, but only when it flows through us, not to us alone. The southeast direction represents that flow, the river of abundance that never runs dry as long as we remain open, grateful, and generous. Ancient Jewish texts describe the southeast as the direction associated with the element of water, which in Kabbalah symbolizes chesed, loving kindness, and the flow of divine mercy. Water does not hoard. It flows, nourishes, and sustains all life. When you position your bed so that your head points southeast, you are aligning yourself with this principle of flow. One family I worked with in Los Angeles had been struggling financially for years. The husband worked long hours. The wife managed their home and children with grace. But no matter how hard they tried, money seemed to slip through their fingers like sand. Bill after bill, crisis after crisis. When I visited their home, I noticed their bed was positioned facing northwest, directly opposing the flow of prosperity. I suggested they shift the bed toward the southeast and place a small bowl of water with a coin in it under the bed as a Kabbalistic symbol of flowing abundance. Within 1 month, the husband received an unexpected promotion. Within 3 months, a legal settlement they had given up on came through, clearing most of their debt. But more than the money, they told me the shift was internal. They felt lighter, more hopeful, more open to receiving. They had activated the southeast gate. Here's how you can apply this. If you are experiencing financial struggle, if opportunities feel scarce, or if you work hard but never seem to get ahead, try this. Reposition your bed so your head points southeast. As you do, say this affirmation aloud. Baruch Hashem, blessed is God, the source of all abundance. I open myself to receive divine provision with gratitude and generosity. And remember, abundance is not just money. It's health, relationships, time, peace, and purpose. The southeast aligns you with all of it. But if southeast channels material flow, the next direction I'll share with you is the fortress, the direction of protection, strength, and unshakable peace. Third direction, north, the anchor of protection and inner strength. The third sacred direction is north. In Jewish mysticism, north holds a unique and powerful energy. It is the direction of Gevurah, divine strength and boundaries. While the east brings light and the southeast brings flow, the north brings structure, discipline, protection, and the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity. The Zohar teaches that the north is the direction from which spiritual challenges and trials often come, but it is also the direction that forges warriors of the soul. When you align your bed so that your head points north, you are positioning yourself to receive divine protection, to build inner resilience, and to face life's storms with unshakable faith. Think of the north as the great guardian. It is the mountain that does not move, the shield that does not break. For those who feel vulnerable, anxious, or under spiritual attack, the north offers shelter and strength. I once worked with a young man named David who suffered from chronic nightmares and insomnia. He would wake up multiple times each night drenched in sweat, feeling as though something dark was pressing against his chest. Medical tests found nothing wrong. Therapy helped a little, but the terror persisted. When I visited his home, I saw his bed was positioned facing south, wide open and unprotected. I guided him to reposition the bed so his head faced north, and I taught him a bedtime ritual from Kabbalah, reciting the Shema prayer and visualizing a shield of divine light surrounding him. The first night, he slept through without waking. By the end of the first week, the nightmares had vanished. He described it as if someone had finally closed and locked the door that had been left open for years. The north had become his fortress. Here's how to activate this direction. If you struggle with fear, anxiety, or feel spiritually vulnerable, align your bed toward the north. Before sleep, place your hand over your heart and recite this. Adonai li, velo ira. God is with me, I will not fear. The Lord is my protector, my strength, my shield. The north will anchor you. It will remind you that you are never alone, never unprotected, never without divine strength. And now that we've covered renewal, prosperity, and protection, let me share the fourth direction, the one that transforms relationships, deepens love, and invites the energy of connection and harmony into your life. Fourth direction, southwest, the frequency of love and relational harmony. The fourth powerful direction is southwest. In Kabbalah, this direction resonates with the energy of Tifereh, beauty, balance, and the heart center. It is the direction that harmonizes opposites, that brings together masculine and feminine, giving and receiving, strength and gentleness. When you position your bed toward the southwest, you are inviting relational harmony, deepening love, emotional healing, and the sacred energy of true partnership. Jewish tradition places enormous importance on the marriage bed. It is not merely a physical space, but a holy site where two souls unite, where intimacy becomes a form of worship, and where the Shekinah, the divine presence, is said to dwell between loving partners. The southwest direction enhances this sanctity. It opens the channels of communication, softens hardened hearts, and reignites passion that may have dimmed over time. I worked with a couple in their 50s, married for over 20 years, who had grown distant. They lived in the same house, shared the same bed, but barely spoke beyond logistics and routines. The warmth had faded. The laughter had stopped. They were two strangers under one roof. When I assessed their bedroom, I found their bed facing northeast, a direction of intellect and mental activity but lacking warmth and emotional connection. I suggested they shift the bed toward the southwest and incorporate a simple ritual. Each night before sleep, they were to face each other, hold hands, and say one thing they appreciated about the other. It felt awkward at first, they admitted, but they committed. Within 2 weeks, something shifted. Conversations became deeper. Touch returned. Laughter echoed through the house again. 6 months later, they renewed their vows. They told me it felt like falling in love all over again, but deeper, richer, more real. The Southwest had reopened the heart gate. Here's how you activate this direction. If your relationship feels cold, if communication has broken down, or if you long for deeper emotional intimacy, reposition your bed so your head points southwest. Each night, before you close your eyes, say this prayer together or alone. Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, may love flow freely between us. May our hearts remain open, and may our connection reflect your divine light. Let the Southwest remind you that love is not a feeling that comes and goes. It is a frequency you can choose to align with every single day. And now, having explored the directions of renewal, prosperity, protection, and love, let me share the fifth direction, the one that opens the channels of wisdom, clarity, and divine insight. Fifth direction, northeast, the portal of wisdom and higher understanding. The fifth sacred direction is northeast. In the mystical tradition of Kabbalah, northeast aligns with Chochmah, divine wisdom, and Bina, understanding. This is the direction of the scholar, the seeker, the one who thirsts for truth and enlightenment. When you position your bed so your head points northeast, you are opening yourself to receive insight, clarity, and guidance from the upper realms. This direction is especially powerful for students, teachers, artists, writers, and anyone engaged in creative or intellectual work. It sharpens the mind, enhances memory, and allows you to access knowledge that seems to come from beyond yourself. The Talmud teaches that Torah scholars would often position themselves toward the northeast when studying late into the night, believing that this alignment allowed divine wisdom to flow more freely into their minds. There is a beautiful story in Jewish mysticism about Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Arizal, one of the greatest Kabbalists who ever lived. It is said that he would align his sleeping space toward the northeast, and that during his sleep, he would receive visions, teachings, and revelations that he would later share with his students. His wisdom was so profound that it transformed the entire study of Kabbalah forever. I once worked with a graduate student named Rebecca who was struggling to complete her dissertation. She had all the research, all the data, but every time she sat down to write, her mind went blank. Frustration turned into despair. She began to believe she wasn't smart enough, that she had wasted years of her life. When I visited her apartment, I noticed her bed faced southwest, the direction of emotion and relationship, not intellect and focus. I suggested she reposition it toward the northeast and create a small study corner in alignment with that direction as well. Within days, clarity returned. Words flowed. Ideas connected. She completed her dissertation in 3 months and graduated with honors. She later told me she felt as though a fog had lifted, as though she had been trying to see through a dirty window that was suddenly cleaned. The Northeast had opened the wisdom gate. Here's how to apply this direction. If you are a student, a creative, or someone seeking deeper understanding of life's mysteries, align your bed toward the Northeast. Before sleep, place a book of wisdom, whether Torah, Psalms, or any sacred text, near your bedside and recite this. Hashem, grant me wisdom to understand, clarity to see, and insight to apply your truth in my life. Let the Northeast become your portal to higher knowledge, divine inspiration, and the kind of understanding that changes everything. We have now explored 5 of the most powerful directions you can align your bed with. East for spiritual renewal, Southeast for prosperity, North for protection, Southwest for love, and Northeast for wisdom. Each direction is like a tuning fork, vibrating at a specific frequency that attracts certain blessings into your life. When you choose the right direction with intention and awareness, your bed becomes more than a piece of furniture. It becomes a sacred altar, a nightly portal, a magnet for miracles. But let me ask you something crucial. What happens if, without even realizing it, you've been sleeping in a direction that cancels all of this out? Imagine carefully positioning your bed to attract renewal, abundance, love, and wisdom, only to discover that one directional placement has been quietly draining every bit of blessing trying to reach you. This is not a rare mistake. In fact, it's one of the most common misalignments I see when I visit homes. People wonder why their prayers seem unanswered, why opportunities slip away, why relationships remain cold, why financial breakthroughs never come. And the answer is often lying right beneath them, in the direction they've unknowingly chosen to rest their head every single night. There is one direction that acts like a spiritual vacuum, pulling blessings away before they can take root, blocking divine light at the threshold, and creating an invisible barrier between you and the abundance meant for you. It's the direction of stagnation, of closure, of spiritual exile. And here's the most troubling part. Modern interior design, influenced by Western aesthetics and convenience, often positions beds in this exact direction without any awareness of the spiritual consequences. Designers focus on windows, outlets, and symmetry, but they completely ignore the energetic flow. So stay with me, because in just a moment, I will reveal exactly which direction this is, why ancient rabbis warned against it, and what you must do immediately if your bed is currently facing this way. The forbidden direction, west. And now, the moment of truth. The one direction you must never, under any circumstances, position your bed to face is west. Let that sink in for a moment. West. At first, this might seem confusing. After all, the west is where the sun sets, where the day comes to rest. It seems peaceful, even poetic. But in Jewish mysticism and Kabbalistic teaching, the west carries a very specific and very serious spiritual implication. It is the direction of endings, closure, descent, and exile. Let me explain why. In the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of Holies, the most sacred space on earth, was positioned in the west. Only the high priest could enter, and only once a year on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. This was the place of ultimate holiness, ultimate separation, ultimate boundary. To face west in your daily life, especially in sleep when your soul is most vulnerable, is to symbolically position yourself in a place of separation from the flow of daily blessings. It is to turn your back on the rising light of the east, on the flow of abundance from the southeast, on the protection of the north. The Zohar teaches that the west is associated with the Sephirah of Malkut in its aspect of exile, the lowest point of spiritual descent before renewal begins. When your bed faces west, you are aligning yourself with this energy of descent, of waiting, of separation. Night after night, your subconscious mind absorbs this message. You are in exile. You are at the end. You are cut off. And your life begins to mirror that frequency. Opportunities close before they open. Relationships feel distant. Finances dry up. Prayers feel unanswered. You feel as though you're always one step behind, always struggling, always waiting for something that never comes. One of the most heartbreaking cases I encountered was a family in Chicago. The parents were devout, kind, hardworking, and deeply faithful. Yet for over a decade, they suffered one loss after another. Job loss, illness, estrangement from their children, financial ruin. They could not understand why. They prayed daily, gave charity, observed the Sabbath. What were they doing wrong? When I was finally invited to their home, the answer became painfully clear. Their bed, for 15 years, had been positioned facing directly west. Not only that, but the headboard was against the western wall, meaning their heads pointed west as they slept. Every night they were energetically reinforcing exile, closure, and separation. I explained the Kabbalistic principle to them with sensitivity and compassion. We repositioned the bed together so that their heads now faced east, toward renewal and light. I taught them a bedtime ritual of gratitude and intention. Within 6 months, the father received a job offer he hadn't even applied for. Within a year, their estranged daughter reached out and reconciliation began. Within 2 years, their financial situation stabilized, and they were able to buy a home again. They wept when they told me their story. It wasn't that God had abandoned them. It was that they had unknowingly been sleeping in a position that blocked the very blessings God was trying to send. Here's what makes West so spiritually dangerous. While red can overwhelm if overused and dark gray can drain if unchecked, West is a directional force that you cannot balance with decor or color. It is a compass setting, a magnetic pull that affects you every single night for hours on end. Unlike a wall color you see occasionally, the direction you sleep in shapes your subconscious mind, your dreams, your energy field, and your spiritual receptivity. The West doesn't just mute blessings, it actively turns you away from them. Imagine standing with your back to a waterfall. The water is rushing, abundant, life-giving, but you're facing the other direction. You feel nothing. You receive nothing. That is what sleeping facing west does to your soul. So let me be very clear. If your bed currently faces west, this is not a time to panic. It is a time to act. And in the next section, I will give you the precise steps, rooted in ancient Kabbalah and Jewish tradition, to neutralize this alignment and reopen the gates of blessing in your life. How to correct a westward-facing bed. So what do you do if you discover that your bed is currently facing west? First, take a deep breath. Awareness is the first step toward transformation. The fact that you're hearing this message right now is not a coincidence. It is divine providence guiding you toward alignment. You are not being punished. You are being awakened. Here are the sacred steps to take immediately. Step 1. Reposition your bed. If at all possible, move your bed so that your head points toward one of the 5 beneficial directions we discussed: east, southeast, north, southwest, or northeast. Choose based on what you most need right now. Do you need spiritual renewal? Face east. Financial breakthrough? Face southeast. Protection and strength? Face north. Relationship healing? Face southwest. Wisdom and clarity? Face northeast. As you move the bed, say this prayer aloud. Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, I realign my resting place with your divine will. May my sleep become a portal for blessings, and may I awaken each day renewed, protected, and prosperous. Amen. Step 2. If you cannot move the bed, I understand that not everyone has the freedom to rearrange their bedroom. You may be renting, sharing space, or facing structural limitations. In this case, Kabbalah offers a powerful remedy. Place a mirror on the wall at the foot of your bed, positioned so that it reflects the eastern direction. This creates a symbolic redirection of energy. Additionally, hang a piece of artwork or a photograph depicting sunrise, light, or an eastern landscape on the wall you face when lying in bed. This visual anchor reprograms your subconscious mind to align with renewal rather than closure. Step 3. Perform a bedroom purification ritual. Jewish tradition teaches that our homes, especially our bedrooms, absorb spiritual energy over time. To cleanse the space after years of westward alignment, perform this simple ritual. Open all windows in the bedroom and allow fresh air to circulate for at least 10 minutes. Light a candle, preferably white, and walk clockwise around the room 3 times while reciting Psalm 121. I lift my eyes to the mountains. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. Place a small bowl of salt in each corner of the room for 24 hours, then dispose of the salt outside your home. Salt absorbs negative energy and spiritual residue. Step 4. Establish a bedtime blessing ritual. Every night before you sleep, stand beside your bed, face east, and recite the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Then say, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Lay us down, Lord our God, in peace, and raise us up, our King, to life. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. This ancient prayer, recited by Jewish families for thousands of years, creates a protective shield around your sleep and invites divine presence into your rest. One woman I guided through this process, named Miriam from Miami, had suffered from chronic insomnia and financial anxiety for years. Her bed faced west, and she had been unaware of the spiritual significance. After repositioning her bed to face east and establishing the bedtime Shema ritual, she reported that within 1 week, she was sleeping through the night for the first time in 5 years. Within 1 month, an unexpected financial blessing arrived, a tax refund she had forgotten about, and a freelance opportunity that doubled her income. She later told me, "I didn't realize how much I had been blocking. It was like I had been living in a dark room and someone finally turned on the light." That is the power of alignment. That is the gift of sacred awareness. We have now come full circle on this journey. Together, we have explored the 5 most powerful directions you can align your bed with. East, the gate of renewal and spiritual awakening, where your soul orients toward the divine presence and fresh beginnings emerge with every sunrise. Southeast, the flow of prosperity and divine provision, where abundance becomes a river that never runs dry and generosity becomes your spiritual currency. North, the anchor of protection and inner strength, where you stand firm against fear, fortified by divine power and unshakable faith. Southwest, the frequency of love and relational harmony, where hearts open, communication deepens, and intimacy becomes an act of worship. Northeast, the portal of wisdom and higher understanding, where insight flows freely, clarity replaces confusion, and divine knowledge illuminates your path. Each of these directions is a living frequency, a tuning fork that calls specific blessings into your life. They are not superstitions or old wives' tales. They are ancient technologies of the soul, refined over thousands of years by mystics, rabbis, and seekers who understood that the physical and spiritual worlds are not separate, but deeply interwoven. And then we uncovered the one direction to avoid at all costs. West, the direction of endings, exile, and spiritual closure. Not inherently evil, but profoundly misaligned for the nightly rest of your soul. A direction that, when faced during sleep, turns you away from the flow of blessings and leaves you wondering why heaven feels silent. So here is the core truth I want you to carry with you forever. Your bedroom is not just a room, it is a sanctuary. Your bed is not just furniture, it is an altar. And the direction you face each night is not random. It is a choice, a spiritual broadcast, a magnetic signal that either attracts or repels the blessings meant for you. Don't let ignorance or convenience rob you of your divine inheritance. Let's seal this teaching with a collective declaration. Type this in the comments and speak it aloud with conviction. My bed is aligned with divine blessings, and my life is a magnet for miracles. Say it, write it, believe it. Because every time you affirm it, you are encoding this truth into your mind, your heart, and your soul. And now, I invite you to take action beyond this video. Hit the like button if this teaching resonated with your spirit. Share this message with someone whose life feels stuck, whose prayers feel unanswered, whose blessings seem blocked. You may be the messenger they've been waiting for. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another Kabbalistic secret that could unlock the next level of your life. Comment below and tell me, which direction is your bed currently facing, and which direction will you align it with after today? I read every comment, and your stories inspire me to continue sharing these ancient truths. Remember, alignment is not a one-time event. It is a way of life. It is the daily choice to position yourself, physically and spiritually, in harmony with the divine flow. Your ancestors knew this, the sages taught it, the mystics lived it, and now you have received it. As we close, I leave you with this vision from the Psalms. You will lie down, and your sleep will be sweet. Your bed will be a place of peace, and you will awaken surrounded by blessings. Let every corner of your bedroom become a beacon of light. Let every night of sleep become a journey into the divine presence. Let every morning greet you with renewed strength, clarity, and purpose. Your home is a temple. Your bed is an altar. And the direction you choose is the prayer you offer every night without words. Choose wisely, align intentionally, and watch as the gates of heaven open wide, pouring blessings into every area of your life. May your sleep be sweet. May your dreams be filled with divine guidance. And may you awaken each day surrounded by miracles, prosperity, and unshakable peace. Amen and amen.